results live. Today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the influences of exercise on stress, anxiety, however you want to label that stuff. But there's an illustration that was made clear to me at one point in time in my career, and I think it's a great little extra motivator for me to understand what's happening to my body physiologically, which gives me a little bit more of a motivation to be consistent with my workouts. It's one of the biggest reasons I do work out. It's one of my motivations is to relieve stress, to actually change the physiology of my body. And so this is the illustration I make, or talk to you a little bit about how the body works. We have a nervous system, and it's got two main modes. They're called sympathetic and parasympathetic, right? The sympathetic nervous system is when you are in what is called fight or flight. Okay, fight or flight. And that is like if some type of an emergency, you were driving your car and you saw a deer in the road, right? So a couple things would happen. You'd notice the deer, your pupils would dilate, your heart rate would speed up, right? Your adrenaline would kick up, cortisol would kick up, these hormones that are responsible for making the body in a heightened state. My heart rate's going to speed way up, and so I'm in a heightened state of consciousness so that I can maneuver that car around that deer, and I'm almost like hyper alert to handle that situation. That's called the sympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system is what's like when we are in what's called rest and digest. So this is where we will digest our meals the best. This is where we will be able to recover from our bouts of exercise and adapt from them and get the best results. This is when our body's able to heal itself from any traumas and things like that go on. So sympathetic, parasympathetic. So here's the illustration. So the way things used to be, we'd be out hunting for our food, right? And a bear would go chase us, right? And as soon as we'd see the bear, the sympathetic nervous system would kick in, and it'd be a huge, huge blessing because I'd be able to run faster to get away from that bear. And bears are pretty fast, man. So I'd be able to run fast to get away from that bear to save my life. So all this adrenaline and cortisol and these hormones that are kicked up in my body to help me in that emergency, I'm actually going to burn them all off. I'm going to run them all out, right? Just sweat them out, burn through them by exerting energy. Okay, by exerting force and by taxing my body. And then when I'm done with that, the body will go back into a normal state, or a parasympathetic state of rest and digest. However, society is a little bit different than it used to be. Most of us are not getting chased by bears anymore. Most of us are sitting down at a desk in front of a computer with tons of to-do lists and input and phone calls and responsibilities and all these things which are stressors, which if we are, particularly if we're a high anxiety type of person with these stressors, then this is also kicking me into my sympathetic nervous system in. So guess what's going to start to happen? That adrenaline, that cortisol, all that stuff's going to start to pump through my body, but I'm not getting chased by a bear, so I'm not running it off. So I'm basically just sitting stuck in it, and my muscles start to get tense, and I get bad posture, and I breathe shallow, and I just don't feel good. I feel run down from it, okay? So what we do at Raw Fitness, what we do in the fitness world, and a good motivation for you to be is if you go and you move around after your sedentary day of sitting down in your office, you're going to burn through those stress hormones, and you're going to help yourself to get back into that state of being able to relax and unwind. Sleep quality, there's so many benefits we see people have to exercise, to relieve stress. We encourage it. And this is physiologically, this is what's happening to your body. Cortisol, if you do any research on it, is notorious for helping people to store belly fat. So if I'm stressed all the time and I'm not burning that out, my cortisol levels are high, I'm just going to start to store fat on my stomach in particular. It's the exact place where it makes you store it. So if you have some belly fat to get rid of, then let's burn that anxiety out. We do it a couple different ways here. We have, number one is, for us, we would encourage you guys to find a gym where there's a unintimidating atmosphere, a non-stressful place to go. It should feel comfortable and homey to go there. So, that's one of the feedbacks we hear a lot from people that, hey, I've tried to go to a big name gym and we didn't like it, particularly the females tell us that, there's the guys in the corner kissing their biceps and checking their abs out and stuff like that, and they don't feel comfortable there. So look for a comfortable environment in which you can exercise, and then make sure the intensity of the exercise is sufficient enough that you can get that stuff out of you. Really, get yourself to where you've exerted yourself, you've gotten a great workout. You didn't have to mentally tax yourself to do so. You just had fun with it and got all that stuff out, so that you walk home that night and you're feeling good with it. So anyway, this is our little talk about the sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system, benefits to exercise. I think we can never have enough reasons to be fitness people, so I hope that this one encourages you and helps you along your journey. Thanks.